Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are going to do the second game of Blade versus Ample. You know, obviously that other one we definitely saw some mistakes, but you know, I don't know. I want to see some more Ample games. I know that I can be a little bit harsh talking about some of these like strategic concepts at times, but these players are still very, very good, very, very strong. Like Ample has been in ASL, KSL, all that stuff, you know, and you know, Blade should have won that game. And you know, well, I guess he actually did end up winning that game. But yeah, I don't know. I focus a lot on strategic stuff during my commentary. That's always been kind of the thing that has drawn me to StarCraft. So that definitely is not the case for a lot of top-end players. They're not like great strategically. They're really more great at, you know, mechanically, execution-wise, that type of thing. So I hope it didn't turn you off to taking another look at Ample versus Blade. We're on Radeon this time with cross-spawn and just a gateway opener here for Blade. So looks like a much more normal opener. Thanks, guys, for tuning into ArtosisCasts. I really do appreciate you. Oh, it's going to be a gaseous expand. I actually think gaseous expand is pretty good right now, but I'll talk about that later. So thank you for tuning into ArtosisCasts. I do appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, all that stuff. It really, really is helpful. You know, still, it seems like no matter how often someone watches, it has not that much correlation with whether or not they're subscribed. It's like, you know, what, half of the people that watch us are subscribed to the channel. So if you would like to subscribe, that is great. It is appreciated. I love watching that number go up. And yeah, you know, over time viewership does trend upwards on the channel, which is very, very nice to see. So happy that a lot of different people are enjoying Brood War games. So thank you guys very much. Now, the probe going to come in right after the command center starts. So that's kind of like the most annoying scenario because you have to get the gas, you have to make a marine, and you have to make a second depot. So you kind of like, this is the best time for the probe to come in. If the probe comes any earlier, you just start the gas and the depot right away. So it's just, you know, it makes the build just flow a little bit more. So pretty good time on that probe, but I don't want to overstate it. It doesn't screw it up that much. By the way, a zealot is coming across the map, so that could be a little bit annoying to deal with. I believe that this is tight. I don't think Marines can oh, no, they can get through. I don't know. I haven't seen this exact Sim City here. So the zealot coming up. Okay, yeah, there is a hole there. Okay. Well, I guess I was way off. Building a bunker here as well. Trying to chase that away, and well, the zealot, yeah, it will be out microed here. The second zealot's coming. Wow, he really likes making his zealots, huh? He does have the Nexus on the way as well, and he is definitely slowing this down a little bit. But honestly, the way that this is going is pretty good for Ample because this zealot already has so much damage on it. The second zealot's coming in. But again, you know, 3 Marines well microed beats a Zealot. So when you have 2 Zealots here and one of them's really damaged and you now have 4 Marines plus SCVs being microed, you are going to be able to knock these out pretty quickly. I can't believe you made a 3rd Zealot. This is absolute madness. I cannot believe you made a 3rd one. That's so crazy. Anyways, it is slowing down Ample in certain ways. I don't think that this has been particularly good for Blade this time. And it's a very different scenario than what I was talking about before, right? There was like a Sim City here and everything. The command center was already up, so it's not really very much like the Eclipse game where I was like, yeah, I think it's good for him to make Zealots here and just shove them in. This is a very different scenario than on Eclipse where your opponent's trying to make a bunker, has no Sim City against the Zealots, that type of thing. But he's still running them around. Ample is actually showing great control here. He's like very much on top of... Yeah, just kill that. Okay. He's very much on top of getting rid of these, but still keeping his build order going. So you can see he's still up in workers. He's up like 2 to 3 workers at a time. He's making his factories. The robo is not up or anything like that. So yeah, it's actually looking pretty good for Ample after this opening. This is so This is so comedic watching him just run around with this. The thing is, sometimes you'll get, like, let's say, okay, I hit Blade a fair amount on the ladder, and, like, he has a huge, maybe I've taken one game off of him, but, like, he has a huge win rate. And if he had done this to me, for instance, I probably would have lost some SCVs up here, some SCVs in here, right? He'd probably have, like, 2 more workers than me right now. All right, it's like, that type of move can pay off. It's like a skill check. But he spent a lot of money on that skill check, and Ample passed it with flying colors. So it's like a very good opener for Ample. And I love this. He's going into the 3 factory play. This is fun because, okay, the last game it made sense, the 3 factory, because he just had to do something really aggressive to try to come back. Here he's actually ahead, and he's still doing the 3 factory. And that's very Ample. You know, I've actually, like, this is kind of what I identify with him. He's, like, the most aggressive Terran overall at the pro level, and he loves things like 3 factory. So the fact that he's going 3 factory speed mines right now, you know, you make, like, 6, 7 vultures, you'll crush 2 goons. You don't even need mines, especially if they're out of position, because, like, you can't run from vultures. The vulture is actually the fastest unit in the game after speed. So you can, like, you can put constant damage onto goons with them. It's actually, like, an underrated move. I feel like we don't see many players do it. There's not, like... I actually really like 7 vulture openers. Like, when you go 7 vultures at the beginning of the game. It can be difficult to do, and there are ways that Protoss can counter it, especially if they're just sitting, like, behind a wall and making goons nonstop with Observer. It can get a little bit tricky, but... this is something that I was thinking about, like, over a year ago. And here's 7. Okay, he's actually making even more than that. But he is going into tanks now. But, yeah, like, when you have this type of vulture group... Okay, so 5 goons will beat this. But, like, for instance, he can do something like run up ley mines here and then go after this goon. And you better make a gateway here so fast. Or, like, for instance, these goons are over here. You could run in ley mines, start putting damage on this. They come through, you run around, right? There's, like, a lot of tactical things that you can do. And, like, this amount of vultures, like I said, it can actually kill stuff. And here he's trying to surround with mines, but it's good control here from Blade. Very good control. And he actually blocks everything. No real damage dealt. And, you know, that's something that can happen with a build like this. You make 7... Well, he made 8 vultures here. But, yeah, if you just don't really get anything done, then it's like, okay, well, I'm kind of behind on tanks and stuff. It's not the end of the world, but you don't really have a setup for an attack. So 3rd Nexus is up. He is making some missile turrets. He has the armory, but it's not spinning yet. Pretty good missile turret placement. Yeah. A lot of players are making full rings now of missile turrets, and I love this one here. This is actually a really important one. Everyone tries to dive past. Now, I think the problem that I'm seeing with Ample's play here... Now, he's got such a good worker count. Like, I definitely wouldn't put him behind after that Vulture play, but it didn't really gain him anything. I don't feel like he substantially slowed his opponent down at all. Like, Blade seems completely fine with the position after the kind of bad opening that he had. But there's no, like I said, there's no attack available. If he attacks with this, I'll be super, super shocked. Super shocked. You'd have to really get Protoss out of position, which doesn't seem realistic. But yeah, he's going to have to make the third command center. Yeah, he sieges up. 3rd command center will get started on position, or on location. That's a very good choice based on what he has. But from here for Blade, what I want to see from Blade, like, he's flying up with a shuttle and everything. It's like, okay, but I don't think you can really do much. Like, this is pretty good defense. He needs to just make nexuses. Like, he makes this one. Honestly, like, I guess he doesn't have an observer in there right now, but kind of looking at this, I think you know that there's not 5 factories with the command center at this time and all that. I want to see a 5th nexus, too. I think a 5th nexus here is the perfect play from Blade. We'll see if he does that. I don't know. He sent an observer to bottom left, so that might be preparation for that. Oh, no. What are you doing? No, Ample has easily enough to hold all that. This is actually, I really like how Ample played this. And again, even though he didn't get anything done with those vultures, like there was potential. Like you have to give yourself opportunities for damage. He gave himself those opportunities. He didn't find any. I think Blade played pretty solid, so it's part Blade, part Ample missing things and part Blade blocking things. But to then go into the third command center on position with such a strong sieged spot, even though it's like super low factory count, like he needs to add factories very, very soon here. But I think that this is like a really clean continuation of how he was playing the game. I'm actually kind of enamored by this play by Ample. I love that he gave himself aggressive options and turned it into a regular macro game super fast. Like really, really cleanly. Because I was kind of saying like, oh, he doesn't really have enough factories to threaten anything. We should see double expand. And we do see double expand. The fifth Nexus is maybe just slightly later than I wanted to see it, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with the speed of it either. He was kind of careful, made sure he had everything going, you know, zealot legs and lots of gates, but I don't think there was any potential of an attack coming. So I do think that this could basically be about done right now and having probes sent to it. So that would be the only thing I'd say against Blade. I think overall, you look at this game and you look at the last game, like the Eclipse game was a little bit of a train wreck. This is a very good game so far. I think both of them are playing really, really superbly. I'm getting chills, okay? I normally tell you guys when I get chills. I know it's a little bit of a meme and everything, but like watching this, I love this. This makes so much sense in my brain. I love the way that he has played this. Look at his defense. He's got the double armory going. His supply is staying neck and neck. I think that this is such superb play. Truly. Ample is really impressing me. You know, that last game, he took so much damage from the Zealots, we didn't really get to see much. But the game that we had, you know, I don't know, what was it, 5-6 days ago, where Ample just played an amazing TVP. It looked so good. And this just looks fantastic. And I don't see anyone play like this. Like, the 3-factory Vulture pressure into 3-factory expansion, reading what the situation was. Dude, guys, really, I'm not joking. This is really, really good. Really good play from him. But where do you go from here? I'll stop flogging a dead horse. You know, where do you go from here? Are you trying to hit a timing attack? Are you trying to take a fourth base location? Well, looking over here, it is double robo play, so you have to be really careful trying to attack that because you're going to be running into Psystorm and stuff. But you do have to do something. Like you have to either take a fourth really soon. Ooh, really good Reavers, kind of just slowing this down. But you either have to take a fourth really soon or attack really soon. And Ample's almost max, so there is potential for an attack. Now here come the shuttles. There are a lot of siege tanks sitting here waiting. You know, he killed a good amount of SCVs, for sure. We're down to 54 against the 70 probes, but this does get blocked. I think you attack from here. I'm pretty sure that you unsiege everything and just send like 2 vultures in front to eat the first scarab shots, and you go. Because he's got 3, 6, 7, 8 facts. Like, it would be better if he had one more, but 8 facts with 3 add-ons, really, really solid. I don't think you need to reset this up. He just spent like 4 shuttles, and you're not exactly maxed, but you're very close to it because you lost a lot of SCVs. Even though it looks really low, if you add in that, it's like, okay, so he's actually at 180. If you look at that, 180 against 200, it's like, okay, we have 2-1 almost done. Yeah, maybe he just waits for 2-1 and goes or something like that. But I think that did open up a possible attack. Now, Blade is taking top right. This is his line in the sand. This is like Blade saying, I'm going to win here. This will win him the game if he can keep that up. Like, Ample has to attack at this point. You absolutely can't let him get all 3 mains, right? Like, both the other main bases. That is like a Protoss win condition. It doesn't even matter what, if you're going carrier, arbiter, speed shuttle, whatever it is. If you have 3 mains on a 4-player map, you win as Protoss. Like, they can have it for a minute and you go and kill it and it's like, okay, but you can't let them have that indefinitely. It's too hard to attack everything. their resources are going to be way too high as well. By the way, Scarab damage on the way at 15 minutes. Kind of interesting. And he's making yet another Nexus. Very few locations of the map not taken yet. There is a 4th command center ready. +2 attack is just about to finish here for Ample. He's being so careful with this. He's maxed out. He's at 62 workers, which is okay. It's on the low end of okay. Like, normally, I would say you want, like, 66 or so, but, I mean, the difference is negligible. But, yeah, he's got a good worker count. Great upgrades right now at 2-1. Huge army. Super large amount of siege tanks. The only thing that's actually scary for him right now, I would say, is Storm. That is, like, the only thing. His army will crush everything except Psystorm. So you do have to be careful with the attack. But if he takes too long, and we get a ton of gateways here, a ton of gateways here, a ton of gateways here, speed shuttles everywhere, Psystorm everywhere, it becomes really hard to attack anything. But he is pushing out very methodically here. Now, when you're pushing this many units, we might see him swing up and attack this location. But this is close enough you can kind of come up and defend. All right, he is going to run up and start dropping out a little bit. And, okay, he gets a fair amount of SCVs. So he kills... Okay, he kills, what was that, 12 SCVs or so? But he loses a lot of the shuttles. Okay, you have an attack timing now. The supply is actually going up insanely. Like, look at this. Same supplies, but he's down 12 workers. Or 18 workers, rather. Sorry, my math is bad. But if you're down 18 workers here, and you attack and you're both max, like, the Terran army is just so much stronger at this moment. And he's going to be able to pick off these Reavers very, very quickly. Yeah, this is the attack timing for Ample. He needs to go. He needs to make a very strong move. And I'm not sure what it is. Do you just kill top right? Maybe. By the way, air weapons are on the way for Blade, so he's getting ready for the potential of a transition. Don't forget that this storm-based play, if Ample maintains an army of this size, you can never kill him. So storm-based play does need a transition to actually finish Terran, unless you get really far ahead. All right, tries to poke in there, but Ample's big depot wall holding him off. Ooh, sick EMP right there. I feel like Blade is fumbling a little bit. He's not sure what to do. This is really well defended. This is really well defended. And there's no real way to get up and save this base. So this base is going down, like, almost for free. But it's taking a while as well, right? Like, he has all this time to work with where Ample's army is engaged elsewhere. So he does come into the center. This doesn't look very good for him. 3-2, by the way, on the way, but a little bit late. Okay, he brings up speed shuttles to slow this down. Okay, this can be a really good move. It's really hard to push up the ramps. Obviously, he'll eventually kill this. But just slowing this down, and yeah, I think taking this Nexus is really, really smart. Slowing it down, he's throwing up some additional cannons, so you can't just run up and kill everything with vultures. Trying to pick off what he can. Pulling back mostly. Those air weapons are still going. I saw that he made a Stargate. And you can see that... Okay, you hear these scans. Oops. The scans that are going off right now, he's actually checking for a carrier switch. Like, when you do something like scan this base, like, there's a ton of buildable terrain. You might throw your Stargates there. That's the tricky thing. Like, Protoss is in this position with such a big economy. If you put your Stargates in the right area, Terran might never see them. So Ample was mass scanning all over the place. He has his 4th base set up. He's setting up a 5th. This is superb macro play from Ample. I'm, like, watching his growth right now. I think there's a very good chance Ample makes it into ASL next season. Like, he's not perfect at this stuff yet, but it's clear that he's working his ass off on it. And, like, this is some good play, man. Like, he has stayed so calm throughout this. I think a lot of Terrans would have pushed more quickly, like I was suggesting earlier. But he's stayed very calm. He's clearing the top right. He's remaking his SCVs when he loses them. Okay, these Zealots coming in don't actually do all that much. But I guess they kill some turrets, but there's a lot of Goliaths. Yeah, so can't really get in with the additional shuttles. Great defense once again. Great defense. I love the 2 depot thick wall in some of these areas as well. Really, really smart. Trying to come up. Ooh, actually gets some very good Psy Storms on these pump tanks in the center. Good usage of these Psy Storms. You can see just the bank is immense. I do want to see him throw down some more Stargates, just in case. I don't think he's actually going to have an ability to transition in this game. Like, Ample is so on top of this, and we saw him nail his anti-carrier timing against, again, I believe it was Bisu that he played against, where it's like, okay, this looks really bad for Ample, and he has to hit this attack, and he did it. And I keep hearing these scans. Yeah, see that? He just scanned here and saw the carriers making. Like, he is so on top of this. He recognizes, like, look, he's increased his Goliath count a lot, knowing he needs zone shuttles, but also that a carrier tech switch is the only thing that can really get him right now. Walking through Psy Storms and carrier tech switch. That's it. So he is blocking it. He's scanning for it nonstop. He's keeping really strong defenses. He didn't make this depot. Needs to, though. Throws that down. Okay, great. Big attack coming in once again. Good thing that depot's down. It'll slow him just slightly, even though it's not finished yet. Allow him to bring a lot of units back here. Very good Psy Storm trying to zone it. He needs to actually just target this. Ah, he's stuck. The attack move while he micros other things. Huge army from Ample coming back with 3-2 upgrades. Like, yeah, we just have to see Blade turn around. Okay, so I'm surprised he's still trying to shove through here, but he actually needs to lose some supply. When you see an attack like that, you have to kind of be like, okay, is he remassing on carriers, or remaxing rather on carriers, or is he going back into gateway units? And you do have to decide like how quickly you're going to attack. So we see a lot of scans going off. So he's checking. He's like, okay, 2 carriers so far. You know, not necessarily the biggest deal. Like, you're not really afraid of carriers till about 5 or 6. And he has such great upgrades. Probably, you know, he's pretty confident against that, I would guess. Another little counterattack. Blade right now just trying to draw his attention, draw his army into other locations. By the way, nice Psy Storm drop up here. Not missing any drops today. Sick game. Getting rid of a ton of SCVs there. He's down to 45 workers. And there's the Psy Storms I was saying he needs to not walk through. Takes a lot of damage, but his army still can easily clear everything in this area. This vessel actually flying ahead looking for High Templars to EMP. Really, really good. You might have looked at it and said, why don't they EMP the carriers? That's not that important right now. Right now, it's about keeping Psy Storm off his back. His army destroys this count of carriers super, super easy. Trying to see if I can check what upgrade we're on. No, they're all making interceptors right now. Okay, just +1 at the moment with +2 almost done. All right, so Zealots will be popping out a little bit. He needs to not lose these carriers. Like, these are his first 6 carriers. Really, really important to keep them alive. Unfortunately, some of these High Templars popping out are not going to be helpful. Well, maybe they will be, actually, because they aren't being picked off that quickly. But yeah, they'll get Psy Storm pretty quickly because of Kadarin Amulet. All right, EMP comes out, though. Really strong EMP. Actually gets the High Templar and the carriers, and then EMPs those carriers as well. So Blade has to be super, super careful with this. By the way, Ample resetting up, getting his SCVs made once again for this position. Okay, picks off one of those carriers there. Wow, picks off another. Dude, look at that. 4 carriers only. The siege tanks actually are going to have to be pulled back. It looks like he's not going to be able to finish off the main base unless he gets a lot more Goliaths up here. Now, Blade is coming back with a rather large gateway army and killing off a lot of the reinforcements. This is very bad for Ample suddenly. Like, he's winning this game, no doubt, but look at the tiny Goliath count, and he's got this army stopping reinforcements. He should not attack down with the army. He should use the carriers to pick off the Goliaths, keep other Goliaths from coming, and let the carriers just kill every siege tank for free. That's it. Like, you focus on microing these well against these few remaining Goliaths. and you keep all the other Goliaths out. Now, Ample has just a huge economy, so I do think he's still going to be able to roll through. But Blade has given himself some opportunities because he is going to get so many free tanks. And while Ample has a lot of money, it's, you know, he's going to lose more than the value. The amount he has banked up is not the value of the army he's about to lose. So his army will not be as strong once these are dead. And you can see he's actually, right now, Blade doing a great job of picking off these Goliaths. Oh my god. D-Matrix tanks on the high ground. D-Matrix is a great counter. Like, vessels are just good against High Templars, because, like, if they're storming a tank, you just D-Matrix it, and it just lives right through it easy. But yeah, looks like he holds that really, really efficiently, and suddenly Blade at a very low supply here. Having a hard time. I almost feel like he should storm that. You really... Gets two of the High Templars with that. Painful. Gonna throw down the storms as best he can to whittle this down. Now, the carrier's going across the map. I don't know that Blade has much left to hold on against this attack because his carriers are countering. So the carriers are going to clear everything up here unless Ample sends a lot more. But this army will clear. It should clear everything, but there are a lot of High Templars here. So that's 3 storms apiece. So that's 6 storms. Oh my god, he's got storms over here as well. I didn't notice. Dude, High Templars. They need to cost 150 minerals, 150 gas. Come on. Who disagrees with that? Seriously. Now, taking out these cannons, he's going to be able to kill this Nexus quickly. This command center, oh, he did kind of save that. There's so many Goliaths coming back, and it's a good pullback because of those Goliaths. Now, if he can get some ground army to go with his carriers, you can't roam with just pure Goliath at that point. It's actually a very tricky thing because you need a lot of Goliaths to deal with this. And look at that, he turns around. But there's a mine here to see it as well. So Ample going back in. He's thrown down a lot of turrets. The turrets actually do a good job slowing these carriers while the Goliaths come back up. So I really like that play as well. I think he just needs to keep a full control group of Goliaths up here. You just keep 12 Goliaths up here, and they zone the carriers out of these 2 bases. But the thing is, you got to make sure you're still making some tanks. Yeah, he is. He's pumped out some Vulture tank as well. A pure Goliath army will end up losing to gateway units very, very badly. Like, they fight okay against gateway units, but, like, if you're actually both players are macroing, the gateway army will just crush. It'll be like Psystorm, some Zealots tank, and deal damage, and the goons just shoot everything down. Okay, he's trying really hard here. He's basically sacrificing some extra Goliaths to try to kill some of these carriers. 8 carriers remain. Yeah, definitely time to run there. +2, +1 plasma shields. This is a wild game. This is a wild, wild game right now. He has double cybernetics core upgrading, so his carrier fleet is going to get stronger. Lots of High Templars and kind of medium-ish amount of goons. You just need a good amount of siege tanks against this, to be honest. DT's coming in from the side. This is actually very, very tricky because there's so many different attacks occurring on your army. You might not notice the DTs for a minute. And as you can see, this DT, yeah, okay, he finally does kill it, but it does deal a lot of damage in there. Pulling back, he's trying to lure the Goliaths in so he can Psystorm them. See that? You just get some storms down like they're Hydras or something. And there's just not that many siege tanks. There are 4 more back here. Ooh, might pick one. It's pretty good damage there. If Blade wins this, man. All right, Ample continuing to try to push. He spreads out his siege tanks. I feel like he needs to pull the Goliaths back just slightly because we're almost to the point where the carriers beat everything. You have to be really careful with that carrier, with that Goliath count. Because as soon as Blade recognizes that he stormed the Goliath stuff, like, look at that, another storm. Dude, this is 13 Goliaths against 9 carriers. Now, the carriers are somewhat damaged, and needs more cost efficiency than Ample needs, so he does have to be careful about it still, but, like, realistically, over time, you can kind of whittle this down. It's just he needs to not lose carriers. That's kind of the only thing going on. If this was like, if he had 2 more bases, he could actually just kind of start trading and killing things. It's a good spread right now from Ample. Ooh, another very good Psystorm goes down. This is a crazy game. And look how many minerals are left, by the way. His natural's gone, but his main has a ton of patches. It's kind of funny to see. A lot of missile turrets up there. Still just trying to engage. Ample needs to slowly but surely creep these siege tanks forward to make sure Psystorm Goon doesn't crush his Goliaths. I think he's doing a pretty good job. He doesn't have that big of a bank. 54 SCVs mining. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, low there. Should send these up to here, and it will really drastically improve his economy. He pulled the SCVs off of here, but one was inside each. So those are still mining. Good Psystorm. Nice EMP as well. That was a very, very smart D-Matrix. Still gets picked off, though. You still take a little bit of damage through D-Matrix, so you don't want to D-Matrix stuff with, like, 1 or 2 health. But if it has, like, 50 health, the D-Matrix makes it basically invincible. You know, I would almost think in this position that Ample's in, I'd almost think, like, oh, I wonder if I'm running him out of minerals, right? Sometimes you actually win because they can't really afford interceptors that much, but I guess actually with 3 mining bases, you shouldn't think that yet. Sometimes when they're on like 1 mining base, it's like, okay, actually killing all the interceptors might be the key to victory, not killing the carriers. That can be like a tricky situation to recognize. By the way, doesn't kill this Nexus. The cost efficiency of Blade here is pretty insane. What you're looking at here is basically the strongest army in the game, aside from a single Defiler. Nothing is more cost efficient than Psystorm Carrier, except, again, a single Defiler. So the Goliaths are trying to come up and get some picks. He really wants to reduce the actual carrier count, and he does kill one there. But he's spending a huge amount of money trying to kill those. So is he long distance mining here? Or is he long distance mining the main? I'm not sure, but he is long distance mining something. Looks like it is that 3rd base. Just trying to get any income that he can. Nexus going up here. Oh, that's hilarious. Remember there was a mine here before, but the Zealot ran into it. Very good EMP. Ooh, I love the Observer pickoffs as well. It looks like he has plenty of Observers, so it's not going to make that big of a difference, but anytime you can pick those off and just make the map a little bit darker, make it a little bit harder for him to react correctly, that is going to be a nice play. All right, Psystorm's one of the tanks there. We can definitely see some efficiency going up here for Ample. Carrier's going over to the space. Look at this. He's throwing down some cannons. He scans and sees the Nexus. You can't let him get this. If he gets this, he will win. And he might still win. This is actually a very hard game to call right now. We are running out of minerals, though. Not that much left. Still has about 3K bank. Definitely needs to see some more High Templars made. No question on that. D-Matrix really adding a lot of health to that tank. Picks off a couple of those tanks in the front, and those are the tanks that could have maybe hit the cannons, so that's really good. Picks off... Ooh, gets rid of the vessel. Another vessel does come in, though. What a crazy game. What an insane game this is. I can't believe we're fighting over this last gas base. Like, the last base on the map not taken. This is where the game is going to get decided. Can he actually hold this? I don't think he's going to hold it. Like, this clump is too much. You can't approach it with the High Templars well. The carriers, though, are whittling it down. Every time he can pick off a siege tank, that allows you to get a little bit closer with your High Templars, get a couple storms off. You know, he has so much gas bank. Like, he can make 26 High Templars? Yeah, 26 High Templars with that gas bank. How crazy is that? 26 Psy Storms will kill everything that we have for Terran. Obviously, you got to land them first, but... Now, he rotates over, and he's actually going to kill off some of the reinforcements. It looks like the Goliaths are walking back, but this is Psy Storm City right here. There's no tanks in this area, so he just needs to run up and Psy Storm the hell out of everything. And that is exactly what he's doing here. Just get the Goliaths. The siege tanks don't matter as much. Like, you're going to lose your ground army. Look at the amount of High Templars he has coming up. Absolute insanity. Ample losing a lot of supply. 125 to 169 right now. The carrier's just being so efficient. All right, picks off another one. But where are the Goliaths? He has 8 more coming down. He has 4 here. Does he only have 12 Goliaths on this map? Even less than that now? Uh-oh. I think Blade's done it. Despite having 1 mining base right now. He did mine this out. Okay, well, 420 minutes. Nice. Nice. It wasn't planned, I swear to God. I didn't look at the replay and say, oh, timestamp 36:32. We'll make the 420 joke, but that did occur. Now, yeah, Ample's dead. He's dead. The carriers can literally go around and kill everything now. In fact, this is the most important area to kill because it's got 4 tanks in it. He's even got more carriers joining him. Looks like he is trying to kill this last base. So funny the amount of Archons that can be made right now. Look at that. The Archons in the late game definitely can be worthwhile. Utilizing that gas for a lot of health. Get right on top of that army and clear it out. Remakes the Nexus immediately. Carriers in the meantime killing this base. Dude, if I'm Ample, I'm so sad. What a great game. This was a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Yeah, this carrier fleet will never die at this point. 11 carriers are left. There are some that are very badly hurt, but really hard to target those down. Looks like they're mostly at the bottom of the stack as well. And you can kind of see where they are by clicking all of them. They're like right... They're so in the middle, you can't even target them. And you don't get to choose which carriers are on top and stuff, by the way. I actually don't even know how that's chosen. Maybe it's the later made ones go higher up or something like that. I honestly don't know. But in this case, it's just like he can't even target them. He needs them to spread more to even try to pick off some of these red ones. So as he kills off these final Goliaths, and Ample comes to terms with the fact that he's playing some beautiful games but unable to win. We should be approaching that GG. But seriously, this was an awesome game. I think they both played really fantastically here, and that can show, you know, some of these differences. That Eclipse game, I think they both blundered multiple times each. Ooh, that's a good EMP. They both definitely blundered multiple times each, but you look at this game and I'm like, well, this was just superbly played by both sides. It felt like they both made a lot of hard decisions really, really well. And yeah, just a pleasure this game. Just a pleasure. If Ample keeps this up, man, I think he's going to be back in ASL. Hope you guys enjoyed half as much as I did. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.